Paperless movement, your productivity, your way.
Everybody, so excited. This is the first episode after a long pause of this podcast that we now also renamed to Productivity Like a Pro, which fits into all our Like a Pro series, the courses that we have inside the Paperless Movement membership. And that's already the first topic we will talk about today, the ICOR Journey that we established now. And ICOR stands for Input, Control, Output, Refine, and defines a productivity system end to end. Those who are following us for a while, they know what we are talking about. But those who are not following, they will learn today about it. And these Like a Pro courses are also an essential part of this ICOR journey, where we help busy professionals to define their own productivity system end to end. And that's really exciting. That's why we call the podcast as well Productivity Like a Pro. It's not only about being a pro, it's also the professional behind this, because the paperless movement is all about helping busy professionals to become more productive. And I'm really excited because I'm not doing it alone. I'm doing it with my good friend and co-founder of the paperless movement, Paco Cantero. Welcome.
Hello, Tom, and hi, everybody. I'm glad to start this new journey after, 1 year and a half almost of collaboration. Tough collaboration, not because a German and a Spanish guy cannot work together, but because we have dedicated a lot of time to think about ICOR, our methodology, and how to deliver the things in a way that it's pretty easy to digest for the people, for our market niche, for the people who we deliver our content, that are those busy professionals that you have just mentioned. And we are really happy with the end result. Now we will talk about the journey that we have created to make things easy to digest, easy to understand, and easy to implement. Okay, we are 100% pragmatic, and we want things that work. Okay, and that's what we deliver, and that's our main goal. And we will explain how we achieve this goal.
Yeah, so let's start by talking about how did we come up with this journey? How did we come to the conclusion? Because more than a year ago now, Paco, you joined us in the paperless movement as the co-founder, and we merged our mindset about productivity. I already had the ICOR methodology in place, but it wasn't completed yet. And you joined with your ideas about productivity, and we've been instantly aligned when it comes to productivity in corporate, as an employee and things like that. We're not talking about knowledge workers and students. We're really talking about the people who have no time to set up complex systems and managing them. It needs to be pragmatic. And this was the instant alignment there. We had the feeling there's no solution out there. So we took the ICOR as it was, and we published the first ICOR Mastery course more than a year ago, which was already productivity end-to-end. But now, what's the difference with the ICOR Journey that we have now republished? What's the difference here? Why did we come up with this? I think we should dive in now.
I think that our main principle, I think that the meeting point for the two of us, I think that it was that we understand that information should take into action. Information that is just to be stored and never go back to it or take advantage of it is nonsense, no? And I think that most of the methodologies or frameworks that are out there are pretty well focused on information. But then when you need to really take an outcome or deliver something out of that information is the missing gap, no? And by curiosity, we ended up in the same conclusion and a pretty similar methodology. And we bet on ICOR. We love the name, the stages and everything. And that's why we kept working in that methodology. And then we created that ICOR Mastery course. We learned a lot preparing and developing that methodology. And we ended up with a product that we consider that it was amazing. For us, it was amazing because it was covering everything since the moment that you capture a piece of information until you really take that information into action and deliver an outcome, achieving a goal, or at least pointing towards a goal. And that was a huge course. It was 20 lessons. We made a different approach to the course, and because we know that we are talking to busy professionals, we got the horizontal course that it was just 90 minutes. And there was also, for each lesson of those 20, a vertical content full of ICOR talks, magic slides, a lot of content, okay? So people really go in depth into that course. The point is that we were concluding, and we concluded that it was so huge because it was massive. It was, in fact, the whole world of productivity in just one course. And we concluded that people get lost. It was too many
Unlike the
concepts.
feedback, right? So we have to
Yeah.
mention, unlike the feedback, people were amazed. They said they're saving so much time. We have testimonials as well on the website telling us 7 hours per week they saved just by going through the course. And as you already said, you were able to go through the course in 90 minutes and get the idea of ICOR, and it already improved lives. But there was so much more we wanted to tell and that we thought was hidden in the depth of this course that we restructured this, right? So that's the thing. And that's actually interesting. We weren't forced to rethink this product. There was nobody telling us, well, you have to do it new or it's too complex or anything like that. It was really our effort there.
The point is that we were conscious that there were missing points, things that we need to be more specific, to go in depth, to mention, because we didn't mention, because we wanted a course that was pragmatic, easy to put into action. And if you end up with, I don't know, a course of 500 hours, that's something that not even myself, we were delivering something that if I find it out, I would consume it. And that was our main purpose. Would I consume this piece of content or will I send it away? And that was always our direction and the product that we want to deliver. And that's why we decided to then start splitting the course into pieces, into chunks that really represents the different stages of ICOR. No? And that's how the ICOR journey started, because the end goal for people is ending up with the perfect tool stack, okay? And that's what people ask us and what have asked us for our whole lives, okay? Because we have been into this productivity crazy world for our whole lives. And the point is that people want to know what apps, what software they need to use and how to use it. That's what they want. So what we created is a journey that starts with people showing the current tool stack, then going through the journey that we will explain, and at the end of that, restructuring all the tools if necessary, that most of the times are necessary, as we will explain pretty soon, because we use a tool that we have created that is called the ICOR Framework, and no one better than you to explain it, Tom.
Yeah, I was actually fed up with all these best productivity tools videos on YouTube as well. And I was doing these videos as well, talking about the best productivity tools. But I kept saying in these videos, it depends on what you need the tool for. And the best example is always somebody reached out on social media and asked, what is the best note-taking app? And people answer Evernote, Notion, things like that, Obsidian. And they just answer from their subjective view in their life they have, maybe as a student, and you ask as a busy professional running a whole business for the best note-taking app. And this was the big gap there, that people relied on single-worded answers where they say Obsidian. You look into Obsidian, you go to YouTube, you find a few videos, you get hyped, and then you try to implement it and you're lost. And ICOR helps you really to understand the tool-agnostic approach to productivity and to convert this knowledge then into what are the best tools. We developed then the ICOR Framework. And if you don't know what the ICOR Framework is, go to paperlessmovement.com. There you go to our tools section, and there we show our own ICOR Framework and the tools that we use and how they are laid out. But in general, this framework has 4 spaces, PPM and PKM. So PPM is personal project management and PKM is personal knowledge management. And then on the business side, you have the BKM, which is the business project management, and the BKM, which is the business knowledge management. And there you see already, we have 4 variations here. And one might be familiar with you, is the PKM, the personal knowledge management. That's what we see this productivity cult going on YouTube, and everybody's talking about PKM and so on. But there you see already, we also have PPM. So it points out that PKM to us is really just about managing information, and the PPM is the place where it takes action. And now it's about moving this information from PKM into the PPM, and the same on the business side. So if it sounds too complex to you, it's a lot simpler than it might sound. Go to the website and check out our tool stack, and you will instantly understand how we place the tools in this framework. And then obviously, going through the ICOR journey in the very beginning, there's a comprehensive guide how you can lay out your own tools in this ICOR framework. We have so many members who share this. We encourage our members to share this ICOR framework with us, because it is something so easy then to discuss if you have gaps in your tool stack, if you need any other tools, recommendations, things like that. As Paco already mentioned, this is the starting point of the ICOR journey. And then it starts with all the journey, which are the different courses that we will talk about in a moment. And then it will end up with revisiting the ICOR tool stack that you laid out in the very beginning, with the purpose to have a complete different view on these things, thanks to the journey that you have behind. And that's the amazing thing. That's where the people have the revelations after they revisit their own ICOR tool stack on their ICOR framework. After finishing the ICOR journey, they say, man, first of all, the tools that I have are not that bad that I thought. I just need to reorganize this and connect them in a different way and leverage it in a different way. And we have so many members that reduce their tool stack by up to 50%. It's insane. They just were able to remove all these tools without suffering, without interruption of the business, because that's what you learn in this ICOR journey. And I'm really excited about this. Maybe, Paco, you want to dive into the courses that people can await going through this ICOR journey?
Yes, and I would like to add that, for instance, it's not just that people have changed their tool stack, it's that just the way they use one tool, for instance, is totally different after the journey, because your approach to the tool, we got a member that specifically was using Tana, and he said that after going through this journey, he ended up use Tana in such a different way that now he's taking advantage of the software, something that before he wasn't able to do it. And it's something that says a lot about this journey, that is a step-by-step journey, as I will describe right now, because we have created different pros courses, okay, that go through how you move information into action, okay? And the step one, it's the note-taking process, and there's where everything starts. It's important to say that we have structured all the pro courses using the 3-layer approach, okay? Those 3 layers for us are very important. We have received very good feedback from the people, from the members who enjoy the courses, because it's pretty easy to understand, okay? The first layer are the concepts. We don't go into the stupid things about concepts, okay, trying to be academic or something like that. It's just the essential concepts that you need to make good approach to the implementation that will come later on. And with those concepts, then we develop layer 2, that those are workflows. The workflows are the processes that you need to follow to create dynamism into those concepts that you have previously understand. And finally, in layer 3, we call it the implementation layer, is where you see real tools, the tools that we use on a daily basis, how we implement those concepts and workflows. And this is something that it's so intuitive that people perfectly understand the knowledge that we are trying to communicate by enjoying these courses. The first one, the note-taking like a pro. It's a course that you will understand really the process of note-taking. You will understand why you cannot say, what's the best note-taking app, or what should I use? Tana or Evernote? That those are questions that we receive. That we say, my man, you are comparing, I don't know, a car with a truck. I don't know. It's impossible to decide between the two of them. There, you will understand the right approach to the note-taking world that is full of applications, and then is how you start having that bird's eye view to really understand what this story is all about, okay? Afterwards, then there's the second step that Tom will explain, that it's the PKM like approach, because when you have understood the process of note-taking is when you leverage that information and you then create what is called a the knowledge management system, okay? That is how you make sense of that information, and you decide if you need to go deeper to learn more, or to elaborate more, or to distill, or to filter, or whatever, to leverage that information, or if you need to take action on any of the items that you have previously recorded, and that keeps the journey running.
So yeah, that was actually the spark of the whole ICOR Journey idea. We created this digital note-taking like a pro course just as an answer to fill a gap in the ICOR Mastery course, because we know people come in and they ask for, how do I take better notes? And just saying you will find it in the ICOR Mastery course, because we scratched the surface there as well, this was not enough. That's why we created this dedicated course with this new 3-layer structure, as Paco already described. But this sparked the journey for us, first of all, the journey to create a whole line of Leica Pro courses that cover all the productivity end to end, as Paco already said. And the next one in this journey was PKM Leica Pro. And in this PKM Leica Pro, which is personal knowledge management, and as I described at the ICOR Framework, this is just a small part of a productivity system that so many people on YouTube and gurus are just talking only about PKM. They never put things into context with what else is going on in your business and how do you connect all things together. So to us, PKM was just getting from the capturing process, how do you collect all this information, to now manage this information, how to organize this information, and how to take the advantage out of this to easily find the information again and then prepare it for action. So it's easy to understand what part of your information is actually essential for your business. Then we also talk about deep thinking and shallow thinking, something very important, because people, as you said already, they say, what should I use? Stupid example, but what should I use? Readwise or Evernote? Then we would say there are complete different tools. And we, for example, use Reader from Readwise for shallow thinking and Heptabase for deep thinking. And each tool wouldn't work in the other universe. I cannot use Reader for deep thinking in order to dive deep in. But Heptabase is also it's not made for shallow thinking, just collecting information. And there in this course, PKM Leica Pro, we also dive into how do you actually connect the shallow thinking with the deep thinking? How do you leverage your shallow thinking system to take advantage in the deep thinking system? Things like this. And this is actually then moving us from the personal knowledge management into the task management Leica Pro course along this journey. And task management is still in the personal area. So right now with the digital note-taking, the PKM Leica Pro, and the task management, we talk about the personal work as a single person working there. And then after the task management Leica Pro, we have the project management Leica Pro that we will talk about. There's the place where we then talk about business project management and business knowledge management from a team perspective and so on. But Paco will now describe the task management Leica Pro course, because this makes the end of the personal journey in the ICOR journey.
Correct, because here, as you can see, there's a parallelism between the ICOR stages, that is input, control, output, and refine, with the courses that we are doing, okay? The input is the moment that you capture the information, that's the note-taking process, and then we transition from ICOR to control thanks to the PKM Leica Pro, because you process, you distill, you filter that information to really take action into it. That it could be the thinking, and you just need to go deeper into that knowledge, or you decide that you need to take actions, okay? And then you move to the third step of ICOR, that is output, that it's where action begins, okay? Here we are transforming, converting the information into actions, and we start that part of action being focused in your personal world, okay? That's it. We call it PPM, personal project management, but it's what everybody calls task management. And there are specific tools that are really amazing, and processes just to deal with your task, with the things that you need to do. There we define what a task is, and we help you plan your week and your day, because that's what task management is all about. The step forward and the next step in the journey could be the project management. The project management is the moment that you start sharing tasks, projects, goals with your team, and that's what we cover. It will be like the second stage in the action world. Okay, we are still in the output. So personal is one with the task management, and then project management, Tom, is the part where the team comes in.
Yeah. And now Paco already mentioned that you go from task management to project management and start sharing these tasks. But obviously, in many cases or most cases, it's the other way around as well, that you get these tasks from the project manager, or you make these tasks for your employees and team members and so on. And then it moves from project management to task management. But to us, it was just important to make people aware of the difference, that there is actually a difference, that there is the part where you work in a team, where you discuss the things in a team meeting, in project meetings. And then there's the moment where you go back to your desk, and then you need to know exactly what you need to work on. So you always be of peace of mind that you're working towards the business goals or your own goals and things like that. And this is really where we dive into the project management like a pro course there, to give you this holistic view on productivity on a business scale. And coming from the task management like a pro course, you have the knowledge to easily then transform these tasks that you get in the project management system into your personal system. So you actually get them done as an individual person. So the task management like a pro really sets you up for get things done on a personal level. And the project management like a pro is get things done on a team level, so everybody moves into the same direction. And this is really the big one where we also, I would say, even disrupt the project management typical industry or the methodologies that you have out there. Obviously, waterfall projects are already outdated. There's the agile approach and things like that. I think we even have something different. We are leveraging due dates in a different way here in the project management. We believe on a weekly basis for planning. So in this project management like a pro course, this is where we really dive deep into all the things. What is a project? What is a task? We have different views. Priorities, a big topic in project management like a pro course, because we know it all.
We killed them.
We killed them. Yeah, we killed them. We all know the priorities, all set too high or even urgent, all these urgent emails and so on. So we give these things a definition. For us, there's only one priority. That is the goal-orientated priority. Then we have an urgent priority. That's something you will learn in this course as well. It's really just as something that interrupts your business. All this is described in the course. But then you might ask, okay, if I don't have priorities, what about these ideas and so on? We talk about the idea incubator. That's a system that we established that you can apply to any project manager to allow your team and yourself to collect ideas, to not let them fall through the cracks and work on them as well. So this is really an end-to-end system in itself, the project management system that we established there. And in layer 3, described by Paco before, the layer 3 is the implementation part where we show how it works in tools. This is where we show it in ClickUp, because at the Paperless Movement we are using ClickUp, and there we show how we implement this. And there's a whole course around this. We come to a moment. But there's one last course in this ICOR Journey, Paco.
Correct. And it's the one that belongs to the refine stage of ICOR. Remember, it was input, control, output, and then refine. And refine, we created a like a pro course that we call automation like a pro. And this is not a course that is just about the typical automations that we can find in software tools like Zapier or whatever. It goes even beyond to force sequentiality, to think about how you can refine the way you create your processes, optimize them, and polish all that productivity system that you have built starting in the input stage, how you refine that productivity system to make it work smoothly without any friction at all. No? And with that, the journey, the ICOR journey is completed. Then you go back to the ICOR framework to see now the things that you will change based on the knowledge that you have acquired. And also, I would like to add that the Like a Pro series don't stop there. It was such a huge topic, the project management. Okay, we decided that layer 3 implementation for that course deserved a specific course. That's why we created ClickUp 3.0 like a pro, okay? And that's a course that go through the different layers, layer 1, 2, and 3, again, just on ClickUp to see how we implement on ClickUp all the concepts and workflows that we defined in the project management like a pro.
It's so important to say here that the project management like a pro course and all the ICOR journey are always tool agnostic. That was the ultimate goal, because usually you see on YouTube you have to use Notion and these templates in order to be more productive. And that's really something we want to avoid. That's why we have this 3-layer structure. The layer 1 and 2 are always tool agnostic, and you can apply it to any tools. But that's also a learning from the ICOR Mastery course that we had there, which was all completely tool agnostic, that people need to see examples how this looks in action. And this is the moment where we came up with the layer 3, where we show our own tools that we use in our businesses and how we apply these concepts and workflows in action.
Correct. And that's the ultimate purpose of this implementation layer, because this is not about you need to use this tool to implement the concepts or workflows. The ultimate purpose of that layer is just showing you how we implement those concepts and workflows, so that you get inspiration and you get inspired to implement them in any software tool that you are using currently. And that's the goal of that layer. And that's the journey, what we call the ICOR journey, with all these steps. All the courses, I like to say, that are really to the point. I don't know exact extension or the time length of the courses, but I think that it could be more or less 2 to 3 hours. It's more or less our scope, talking about those courses.
Per course.
You got an idea. Per course, obviously,
Yeah.
per course. And with that, you have done all the journey.
It's not the finishing line yet. So
No.
we have the automation like a pro there. This is the last like a pro course in the series on your ICOR journey. But then this is where it really begins, because then you revisit your ICOR framework that you filled out in the very beginning with your tool stack, and then optimize this. And this is also where you get the option to have a free 1-on-2 coaching with Paco and me, where we then look at your ICOR framework together with you, with your knowledge that you got from this ICOR journey, because now we're speaking the same language. And this is where we have superpowers in 1 hour to really boost your productivity in a coaching call without starting from scratch and talking about the basics. What tools are you using? Because you never can in 1 hour get the holistic view on a productivity system. But if you go through this journey, that's where we thought it's really worth it then to have this 1 hour coaching for free for our members. And there we will help the people. In addition, we have weekly AMAs. Paco and I go live every Monday inside the membership, where we answer all the questions that appear on the community. People reach out, or during the AMA sessions, this is the place where we answer them. In addition, 24/7, I would say, we are inside the community. So whenever people ask anything in the community, reach out, we usually answer within 24 hours these questions. And this is, I think, is really where we think it's the best support that you can get if you on a run and want to get this up running very quickly. This is where we are here. But we strongly believe that this ICOR journey is essential, because it will set your mindset to a stage where we will talk about productivity in a complete different way. And we are certain you will look at productivity in a complete different way.
Correct. And with this, I think that we can finish this episode, Tom, because we have discovered and going through the ICOR journey, and well, much more to come.
Yes, and we will invite you. Join us, check it out, go through the ICOR journey. We cannot wait to check out your ICOR framework.